What we talk about?
On hood.
We outside.
Hold on, show your tats. Hold on.
Know the truth. On hood. 60s, nigga. On hood. You know the truth. Niggas ain't playing out here. They at home. 60s though, nigga. Yeah, all that. On hood. Nigga, the ops don't even be over here. They don't even come around like that. They be trying to like sneak over here. They six so Crip, nigga. Hey, like I said,
I walk through this motherfucker there. On her, but I'll be in the touch.
right here. We walk through this motherfucker. Niggas ain't worried about shit. Oh, look. See a little bit about our story. Yeah. Nigga, on hood. Yeah, y'all with the Crips, man. Live and direct with the Crips. You understand me, nigga? The 60s old, nigga.
Usually be homies on every block.
Yeah, nigga. Everywhere we go, nigga, there's homies around, nigga. On Crip, nigga. Y'all come anywhere around the 60s, I guarantee you, nigga, that's what you gonna see. What you see is what it is.
Somewhere.
Did you really have a choice, you know, joining the 60s when you were young, or was it just all your family members was in it, so you were in it?
Nah, really me, none of my family members was from Rollin 60s. My dad came from Africa. So his whole side of my family's in Africa. And then my mom, she only had one brother and it was her. So my uncle was like a hustler and a musician. And my mom, she's a woman. She grew up on Slauson and Fifth Ave on 60th her whole life, as well as my granny and my grandfather. You know, they own property in the hood since like the 30s or the 40s.
So what made you decide to actually get involved in all that? Because, you know, I mean, I'm sure you knew what the downsides were before you got into it somewhat.
Yeah. Nah, I think it was like a combination of, you know what I'm saying, just being out of age. I left my house kind of early.
How old?
When I was probably like 14.
Okay, so you're on your own at 14 years old.
Yeah, I was out of my mom's house, you know what I'm saying? I went to live with my granny when I was 14. And, you know, I just was taking care of myself early on. And, you know, I was doing things to try to get money so I could support myself. I always wanted to do music. That was my first passion before anything. And out of frustration from not having outlets and having studio access, you know, the culture of my area is the gang culture, you know what I'm saying? So by being outside, being involved with hustling, being in the hood, doing things to try and get money, being young, you know, riding your bike through the hood, getting shot at, yo loved ones and homies that's your age, getting killed, getting shot at, you know, getting jumped at malls and at basketball, football games, high school games, whatever. You know what I mean? Getting into it, it's like, we were just raised like, if you with me and something go down, I'm in it. Whether I'm from the or not, you know what I'm saying? So after a while, it just be like you always in the middle of some shit, might as well, you know what I mean?
Be part of it.
Be part of it.
Official.
A Crips gang leader in Los Angeles is wanted on federal RICO charges. Authorities say Eugene Henley Jr., known as Big U, ran a criminal enterprise that committed a series of racketeering crimes, including extortion, human trafficking, fraud, and the 2021 murder of an aspiring rapper. Henley is a music entertainment entrepreneur known for helping Nipsey Hussle launch his music career. Multiple others have been arrested in connection to the RICO case. Henley is considered a fugitive.
The massive raid took place in just the past 24 hours, and the charges range from racketeering to murder.
Eyewitness News reporter Rob Hayes is live in downtown L.A. Joins us now with some of the details. Rob.
Yeah, it sounds like the Crips have been crimped. The FBI announcing that they made a sweeping bust of the Rolling 60s Crips gang, but are still looking for its longtime leader. Now, here's some Air 7 video from earlier this morning showing some of the alleged gang members being processed in tents at the FBI's Los Angeles office. Search warrants executed at 6 different locations today. Hundreds of agents and officers arresting 10 people. In all, 19 have been indicted. 4 were already in custody, so at least 5 more arrests are expected. But the search is on for the man they say has been heading up the local Crips gang for decades, Eugene Henley Jr. Investigators say he's been painting himself as an entertainment executive who's been giving back to the community with various charities. But they say in reality, he's a violent criminal, the leader of the Crips, with a long list of crimes on his resume.
The facts alleged in the complaint paint a very different picture. It is one of a murderer, a thief, a liar, and a cheat. and the criminals that enabled him. For example, Mr. Henley engaged in a murder of a musician signed to his label in 2021 and dumped the victim's body in Las Vegas off of the I-15 freeway.
Now here's one more look at Henley. Again, he's on the loose. If you know where he is, you are urged to call the FBI. Now, prosecutors say right now Henley is charged with racketeering conspiracy, which carries a 20-year prison sentence, but that other charges may follow.
Now, you were born in the 60s.
Yeah, born in 66.
Okay. So you grew up, you were a kid in the 70s.
Right.
Describe LA in your area during that time.
It was kind of like new because we was moving to the west side of LA, so the west side of LA was kind of just developing, you know what I mean, like for blacks being able to come to LA, and we kind of looked like we was leaving it. We weren't really on the east side being on Hoover, but it was like that black flight going west. So it was new, it was young. When we moved from the Hoovers to the hood, it was kind of like the first time gangs was coming west at the rate we was coming. And I think Cripping came in '69. My uncle then was original OG Crips. So when we moved to the hood, it was different. And then for us, it was a family element because my mother had 10 brothers and sisters. And we had like a big South connection. My mother was one sister she was 3 girls and 10 boys.
Wow.
So, and they all come from like a real tight knit. So, and they all came from like this aggressive fight nature. So I can remember my uncles fighting the LAPD in the front yard. I can remember us, having picnics at Van Ness Park. And then it was kind of like, real crazy. But for me, it was crazy because my uncle then was like really like big. They were selling weed, real big weed dealers. And sell the weed, use the cocaine.
So during that time, you're talking about the early 70s.
Yeah.
That's when Tukey Williams and Raymond Washington came together. That was like, what, 71, I think?
See, that's kind of like before my time. And it's like a quagmire with how that's told. With Tukey and Raymond Washington, I was like, them dudes like 10 years older than us. Mm-hmm. And it's a difference between what they was doing and what eventually morphed in what is today. Like they're the original Crips and where the name came from. What we ended up doing after '79 was what we call gang banging. And that was where everything had changed.
Los Angeles, a city where dreams are built on palm trees and pavement. But beneath the glitz and glamour, there's a darker undercurrent. A world few dare to speak about, where power isn't earned through fame or fortune. It's taken by force. At the heart of this underworld, one name carries weight heavier than most. The Rollin 60 neighborhood Crips. And one man with it, Eugene Henley Jr., known to the streets as Big U, is the name that strikes fear and demands respect. Authorities say Henley wasn't just a gang leader. He was a mastermind, running an operation so large, so intricate, they called it a mafia-like enterprise. But that's only the surface of what they discovered. Murder, extortion, human trafficking. It's a web of crime with Big U at the center, pulling every string. Yet, what makes this story even more chilling is how Henley balanced 2 worlds. He wasn't just a street figure, he was an entrepreneur, a community leader, even the face of an anti-gang charity called Developing Options. To the public, he was a man trying to make a difference. To the streets, he was something else entirely. The facade began to crumble with a single, shocking murder. An expiring rapper, known only as RW, found lifeless in the ditch off a Nevada highway. Prosecutors say his crime wasn't robbery or betrayal. It was a song, a track that dared to defy Henley. And in the world of the Rollin 60s, disrespect isn't forgiven, it's punished. Along with the arrest, Brick Baby and Loose Cannon were also apprehended. They're both Rollin 60 members that started to make a break in the YouTube space, becoming content creators.
Right now at 11, a big announcement from federal authorities about the Rollin 60s neighborhood Crips gang in South LA. Detectives have arrested multiple people, and this morning they're still looking for others. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Annabelle Sedano. Let's get right to it. We have live team coverage of this breaking news. NBC4's Michelle Vyas is in Westwood with more on the arrest. But let's get started with Alex Rozier. He was at that press conference and joins us live from downtown LA. Alex.
Yeah, they talked a lot about a number of people in this press conference, but the main focus was on a man named Eugene Henley. The feds say he committed a series of racketeering crimes, including extortion, human trafficking, fraud, and the murder of a rapper in 2021. But this same man, Eugene Henley, is known throughout the Los Angeles community. He's been involved with work including youth charities, and the feds say he did it all to further his own criminal enterprise.
He has maintained the image of an entertainment industry entrepreneur running a music label and of somebody who gives back to the community here in Los Angeles, funding a South LA-based charity, developing options, which purports to help at-youth risk escape gang life and escape the perils of gangs in high-crime areas. The facts alleged in the complaint paint a very different picture. It is one of a murderer, a thief, a liar.
Eugene Henley, now considered a wanted fugitive. In the past, he's produced TV series. He has nearly 300,000 followers on Instagram, and he ran this charity. The feds say the charity received donations from celebrities, even government agencies, for what was described as charitable work. But the feds say he was still very involved in a much larger crime ring, and it wasn't just Henley that they're looking for. They've already made several arrests in connection with his alleged crimes. 4 people named in the criminal complaint are already in custody. The details of the alleged crimes were just released in dozens of pages of court documents that we are about to go through here. But the big headline right now is that Eugene Henley, a longtime self-proclaimed community activist, is now a fugitive. The FBI, among other agencies, looking for him and several other people involved in a much wider-ranging crime ring. We'll have details much later today on the NBC4 News beginning at 3 o'clock. But for now, reporting live, I'm Alex Rozier, NBC4 News.
Alex, thank you very much for that update. We're looking forward to it. All right, so let's go to NBC4's Michelle Vyas. She's live at the federal building in Westwood, where the defendants will be processed. Michelle.
That's right, Annabelle. Good morning. Right behind me, we have FBI agents and members of the Department of Justice here. This is where some of the members, the gang members from the Crips, were brought to be processed. We just saw likely one of them being driven away, who will likely be in court this afternoon. This is a big day. This is where they're processed. Many of them still need to be processed to face those federal charges. A big day, but big agents need the big get, a.k.a. Big U. Eugene Henley, now a fugitive. They think he's somewhere in Southern California, a self-proclaimed philanthropist and ringleader of the Rollin 60s Crip gang. Here's more on the arrest from special agent in charge.
4 of the 19 defendants were already in custody, and 10 defendants were taken into custody in the last 24 hours. And while we're still seeking the whereabouts of 5 individuals, 3 of whom we believe we will have in custody shortly, 2 defendants are considered fugitives. They are Eugene Henley Jr., also known as Big U, and Brian Mejia.
Big U, the Crip leader turned gang interventionist who ran mafia-like enterprises, according to the feds. Developing Options was his nonprofit charity that was touted as helping gang members get out of the gang life. As we look live here, again, this is the federal building. You see the tents, you see the agents. This is where some of those defendants, innocent till proven guilty, were brought here for processing. Some still need to be processed and make their way to court. Big U looking at extensive federal charges, including the murder of an aspiring rap musician, extortion, robbery, tax fraud, and human trafficking. Anyone who knows the whereabouts of Brian Mejia or Big U, Eugene Henley Jr., is asked to call the FBI. In Westwood, Michelle Valles, NBC4 News.
Michelle, thank you very much for that. And this is a story we'll be following throughout the day on air and online. Right now on our NBC LA website, we've got more on the arrest warrants.
The Rollin 60s neighborhood Crips is a set of the Crip Street Gang Alliance based in Los Angeles, California. Originally formed around Hyde Park, Los Angeles in 1976 from the West Side Crips, and having since spread to other cities in the United States. Membership is estimated to be around 1,600 people, making it one of the largest gangs in the Los Angeles area.
So originally, how did the Rolling 60s actually form?
With and everybody always get upset, but it's different. It's like different dudes how the name came about it. But it was like the permission was supposed to be given to Babyface, and Babyface got permission to start a fraction of Crips. So somewhere around about, I don't want to be quoted on this, but somewhere around about 70, probably about 73, about 71, 72, they started letting people form their own gangs. And it's like you kind of had to get permission to start your own Crip fraction. And that's where the homies went to try to do their own Crip fraction. And that birthed the 60s. And that came about 73, 74.
Okay, and at what point did you actually join?
I actually never joined.
Aha, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You never joined.
I'm I'm one of them guys who just here.
Just around.
Put it like this. It ain't on you, sometimes it's in.
Like we got into it recently, we had an altercation, you know what I'm saying, with some people we used to do business with. It was all over the internet and all that, but the bottom line with that was, it became a situation that couldn't be avoided. You know what I mean? It had to be addressed. But with me, 9 times out of 10, my reaction as a LA, as somebody that came up out here, as somebody that with the bullshit at the end of the day, is to just go hard. But you can't do that. Because, you know what I'm saying, you wanna live life in the direction of where you're going. And you wanna, the person you're trying to become, you wanna live like that today. You know what I mean by that? Like, you wanna be successful, you wanna be a mogul, you wanna be, a legendary artist. So you have to live like that today. Or if you want to be a nigga that got life in jail, or that got 100 years, or that on the run from the police, you can live like that today. But what you do is going, you know what I'm saying, it's going to dictate what happens in the future.
March 31st, 2019, South Los Angeles. Nipsey Hussle, a Grammy-nominated rapper, a father, a community leader, gunned down in broad daylight. The spot? The parking lot of his own store, The Marathon, a business he built to breathe life back into his neighborhood. Nipsey wasn't just an artist, he was a symbol of hope, a man who made it out but never left. He stayed, determined to lift up the streets that raised him, but on that day, hope was cut down by a hail of bullets. 10 shots, one final, brutal kick to the head, and the shooter walked away. Eric Holder, aka Shitty Cuz, a man Nipsey once knew. They grew up together on the same blocks. They shared the same past. But that day, their paths collided in the worst way possible. The cause? A quiet conversation, a mention of paperwork, a word that carries deadly weight in the streets. Snitching. The prosecution says Nipsey wasn't accusing Holder. He was offering advice, a chance to clear his name. But in a world where respect is everything, even the whisper of an accusation can light a fuse. Holder left after that conversation. He returned minutes later, armed. What happened next left the neighborhood and the world in shock.
Thank you. Some breaking news to tell you about out of the entertainment world. Rapper Nipsey Hussle was shot. 2 others were hurt in a shooting here in LA. This is a live picture where you can see fans gathered outside a store owned by the artist. The shooting was reported around 3:20 p.m. That's LA time, so that's 6:20 our time here in Atlanta, in the Hyde Park section of the city of Los Angeles. Hussle apparently opened the Marathon Clothing Company store in June of 2017. We want to let you know that there is a news conference that is scheduled to tell us more about what happened. Also, some of the stars are weighing in right now, including Rihanna, who says on her Twitter account, "This doesn't make any sense. My spirit is shaken by this. Do dear God, may his spirit rest in peace, and may you grant divine comfort to all of his loved ones. I'm so sorry this happened to you. A lot of folks, not only in LA, Alicia, but here in Atlanta, because we are part of the music industry here.
Yeah, one of the capitals of music in the country. Certainly this news breaking, hitting home right now. Again, rapper Nipsey Hussle shot and killed out of Los Angeles. Live picture there. This is a story we will stay on top of throughout the hour. And again on CBS 46 News at 11. So much more to follow on this one out of Los Angeles.
Holder fled, wearing a red shirt, a bandana. One gun wasn't enough. He carried two, a semi-automatic and a revolver. The streets erupted in chaos. The hunt began. 2 days later, he was caught. 2 months later, he was indicted. First-degree murder. 2 counts of attempted murder. Life in prison on the table.
Well, that's right, and it was a packed courtroom. A lot of people came here today curious to see the suspect, Eric Holder, who is charged in the murder of rapper Nipsey Hussle. Now, one thing that surprised everyone is when attorney Christopher Darden walked in. He is representing Holder in this case. The defendant, Eric Holder, pled not guilty as he stood behind his attorney trying to hide from cameras. His defense attorney is Christopher Darden, the former district attorney who was one of the prosecutors in the O.J. Simpson case. Nearly 20 deputies in the courtroom today, a large show of security not usually seen in an arraignment. Darden left right after the hearing. He would not comment about the case or how he became defense attorney. Police say Holder was outside Nipsey Hussle's store on Sunday talking with Hussle and then left. He allegedly came back a short time later and started shooting, hitting Hussle in the head and chest.
We know in the community that this so-called driver and accomplice, we believe, is also culpable in the murder of Nipsey Hussle.
Outside Hussle's store today, community activists held a news conference. They say the suspect left the scene in a vehicle driven by a woman, and they want to know more about her. That woman was interviewed by police and released. She claims she didn't know what happened.
That woman is lying through her teeth. She's a getaway driver in the murder of Nipsey Hussle. The only reason why she turned herself in 2 days later, because her face and his face was plastered all over social media.
How do you not know? When the alley we standing in right now is this close, y'all, come on. How could you not hear the shots? It's unacceptable.
And Holder will be back in court on May 10th. His bail has now been set at $5 million.
But his lawyer painted a different picture. Eric Holder wasn't a cold-blooded killer, they argued. He was a man pushed to the edge, a crime of passion, triggered by humiliation and rage. No time to think, no plan, no premeditation. The streets weren't buying it, neither was the prosecution. Nipsey Hussle's OG Cowboy would take the stand on his behalf and testify. Cowboy would face backlash from the neighborhood and other gang members, but Cowboy states that he doesn't care. Nipsey was his friend, and he was up there to do what was right.
Our community right now, we lost everything. Everything we worked for, one person took that person out of our community. Thousands of jobs we don't have no more. Homies don't have nothing to do. They backsliding, they robbing people now. We had stuff to do. Now they don't have nothing to do. All our stores are closed down. We were relying on jobs. The whole community relied on them and the team that we had down there. Now the team is not down there. Nip is not down there. The whole community is affected. All of our stores are closed. We have nowhere to go. We can't go to Rouse to get no food. The only thing that we have is that shopping center. That shopping center is closed down now. Tourists are coming by there, can't even take pictures no more. Everything we built got torn down. One man's mistake, one man's action messed up a whole community. Our whole community is suffering to this day. These kids don't have nowhere to go. They have nothing to do, they have nothing to look up to no more. And the world still wants to know why. That we want to know why would somebody do that to a person that was leading the whole community. Why? We want to know why. That's all we want to know is why. We will possess a person to take a person out of our community that was so powerful. So many people depended on that person. Nobody depended on this other person. Everybody depended on this one person in our community. and they want mercy on this guy. Where was the mercy when he was kicking Nipsey on the ground? Where was that mercy at? Where was that mercy at? You want some mercy? You want somebody to show you some love? You ain't even looked at nobody, you ain't even look at the jury and show no respect, no remorse.
Sir.
Say, my bad, I messed up. You know,
Sir.
I got you. I'm trying to do it the right way.
Thank you, sir.
All right. But there's been no remorse from the individual that's on trial. So I'm asking you, Judge, it really, you know, the time, I don't care what you get this guy. It ain't about the time. I need to know why. I wish I could get that. You know, his fate is sealed. He took a man's life, his life is getting taken. Simple as that. You know, it goes against the body. So his life has been forfeited, so he has to deal with God, you know. Like I said, I just would like to know why. Why would you take such a person out of our community like that? So, Judge, I know you're going to do the right thing.
Thank you. All right, let's proceed.
Like I'm in the window looking or whatever. No, you walking through the marathon store, so I going through the marathon store. That's one door. Then you go to the counter. Behind the counter, there's another door. So then you go in this storeroom where all the clothes are. Then you go through that door, that's where the break room is. So I'm in the break room, eat my food. So gunshots crack off.
Okay.
There's no reason for me to duck. I'm in the break room. There's a big metal. If you hear some gunshots crack right now outside, there's no reason for you to duck. So I'm in there, hear gunshots crack. Immediately, nip outside. I break out of there. So out of one door, second door, third door. I'm the first dude to nip.
Okay, so you run out into the parking lot and you see Nipsey lying in a pool of blood?
Not in a pool of blood. I see Nip lying, and I see the whole parking lot laying on the ground. And I see people scattering and running.
Right, because there's two other victims also.
Well, I didn't even see them. I went straight to Nip. And after it was all said and done, I felt bad, like, damn, I didn't even see these two. I never even seen Cousin Kerry. I never even seen him, never. I was focused on them. I still never seen him until Nip was getting into the ambulance. I never even knew there was two other people.
Okay, and you're the first person that basically gets over Nip's body.
Yeah.
How is he reacting to what just happened?
He just keep trying to get up. He kept trying to get up. He was breathing, trying to get up. He had like a hole right here, so I had my hand right here, and I was covering right here, and I was praying for him. And, like, just breathe, bro. Take it easy, just breathe, And he was breathing. He was breathing. And he kept just trying to get up. He kept fighting, just kept fighting. You can just tell he kept fighting.
I mean, here you are trying to cover up your friend's bullet holes as just pandemonium, and you don't even know who the shooter is at this point.
Exactly.
So you're in danger yourself on top of it.
It's like, if I could have seen the shooter, if I could have been in the window and seen the shooter, then there's no need for me to run the Nip. I would run straight after the shooter because I figured he out of shells now. He done did what he had to do. So it would have been better if I could have seen. It'd been better if I could have been if I could have seen, and then I didn't. So you gotta realize, when I run out, I see everybody scatter. I even see Shitty Cuss scattering and going, but I don't know what he done did. All I see is my nigga on the ground.
When Nip passed away, automatically Big U did it, or had something to do it, or did this, and niggas just be like, social media, the investigator. Now nigga come to your house like, hey, what's the deal, bro? You know what I'm saying? You did it. Like,
and niggas are suckers for switching too, because I seen when that first happened, how they was man, that shit was crazy. Like, I remember Unc went live too, and he's sitting there talking about it. I'm like, that's crazy that y'all, if y'all really know them and you know their situation, them niggas loved each other. Like,
bro, now you don't even gotta go through that. We was just in every video.
Mm-hmm.
Like how we was beefing when all his songs, every album he put out, since we had the so-called altercation, he shouted me out.
Brick Baby is a Rollin 60 Crip, and he goes by the name Lil Shitty because he got his name from his big homie, Shitty Cuz, the same man who shot and killed Nipsey. Brick Baby is allegedly tied to the murder that happened to Quando Rondo's cousin when they were in Cali.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say shot at a Savannah rapper, killing a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath. Shots fired, a fight taken to the streets, and this chaotic scene, the ending of a shooting that started in Los Angeles, California. Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV. Savannah rapper Quando Rondo, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight. It all started at this mobile gas station at 5:30 Friday evening. LAPD says witnesses heard multiple gunshots, then watched a couple cars zoom off. 3 people in one car shot at this black Cadillac Escalade. It's unclear if those inside shot back.
Can I get some space, please?
It ended at Santa Monica Boulevard. Deputies found it peppered with bullet holes and a shattered window. One man inside, a member of Rondo's entourage, had been shot. The 23-year-old was taken to the hospital where he died. A scene left with remnants of the fight, shoes left in the street, doors flung open. The suspects still on the run. We still don't know what spurred it all, but LAPD says it started at a gas pump.
Victim vehicle, they pulled up, they were pumping gas. And it looks like they probably finished pumping gas, and the suspects approached from the alley, got out of the car, and started shooting at those victims.
Investigators are still trying to piece together details, but they're looking for a white 4-door sedan with suspects wearing dark clothing.
Police helicopters overhead, so we knew something was up.
People in the neighborhood shocked by the news.
Disappointed. There have been a lot of incidents in the past couple of years. It does seem that things have been happening more often on Melrose, between Fairfax and Melrose and around here.
According to TMZ, Rondo was not injured.
Brick Baby has ties to Dirk and OTF and has personally been around Dirk on multiple occasions. It's rumored that Brick dropped the location of Quando to Dirk the day that Quando was ambushed and his cousin was fatally shot. Brick Baby became a host on No Jumper.
You said that if you actually knew Quando's address, you would have given it to Dirk.
Just like on some loyalty, I just said that again right here. I said, had I been low on some money or something and somebody just called my phone and I had a location, like Adam even agreed to that. He like, damn, I ain't even think about it like that. Like, damn, if I gave up somebody's location, I'd be fighting a murder too. Like, he had to think about it, but I'm just like, me knowing myself and the loyalty that I got to certain people, like, that was a layup.
Really?
It was a
I would
layup.
not involve myself. If I knew someone wanted to kill somebody, I would not put myself in that situation under no circumstance. If I knew exactly where that person was staying, if they were right there in my house or they were right down the street, because now you're part of a murder if it actually happens.
I'm from another breed of nigga. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. But it ain't, that's what I'm saying. I ain't been that thirsty. But it's just like, all right, what I'm saying is like, take away 8 years of my life I was 28 years old. Somebody called me like that. The man was fried. That's what I'm saying. Like, I had to put some like clarity to what I'm saying. Like, at the point in time I'm in my life right now, like I wouldn't have touched it. But back in the day, oh man, this is a layup.
Loose Cannon is being indicted on multiple charges, but one of the most notable charges included in the case is when he and some other Crips assaulted 2 men outside of No Jumper. The men were badly beaten, stomped, and kicked in the head. One of the men was stripped out of his clothes as he lay unconscious and bloody. This very incident is one of the main charges Loose Cannon is being charged with, along with everything else. Even though both Loose Cannon and Big U are both Rollin 60 Crips and both under the same neighborhood car, Loose doesn't have any respect for Big U because he feels like Big U was responsible for getting Nipsey Hussle killed, and Loose has been very vocal about it.
So I'm like, wait. You get a call from Big U telling you Nipsey just got killed.
Yeah.
You panic, call Nip. Nip answer the phone.
Yeah. And
you like
just talking on regular. So it's like at the
Loose Cannon. Look that up. Look up that No Jumper. Loose Cannon. Fucking clown. Straight clown. Like, he basically just jumped on there and said that he could have saved Nipsey's life. He said he jumps on No Jumper. He said Big U called him and told him that Nipsey was dead too early. And he got off the phone with Big U and called Nipsey. And Nipsey answered the phone and he asked Nipsey, oh yeah, you good? Oh yeah, I'm straight. Oh, all right. And just got off the phone. He didn't even warn him, tell him that, oh, Big U called me and said you just got killed. I was like, none of that. So you basically just jumped on the internet and told people that you basically possibly could have saved Nipsey's life and gave him a heads up, but you didn't do it, bro.
Behind it all, a darker question started to emerge. Nipsey, Holder, Big U, they all shared the same streets, the same gang. And Big U wasn't just any figure in the Rollin 60s. He was the figure. A man with 1 foot in the underworld and 1 foot in the spotlight. His charity, Developing Options, presented him as a community activist, a man reforming the streets. But prosecutors claimed it was a front, a smokescreen hiding an empire built on fear, violence, and manipulation. They called it the Big U enterprise. Authorities say Big U wasn't just a leader. He was a puppet master, extortion, trafficking, fraud. Even a pandemic relief loan wasn't off limits. And when words turned to whispers, when defiance threatened his reputation, the consequences were deadly. Just ask RW, the rapper whose voice was silenced forever. 2 stories, 1 neighborhood, a chain of events leaving South Los Angeles scarred and grieving. Nipsey Hussle's death wasn't just a tragedy. It was a symbol of a community torn between hope and the streets. His name became a rallying cry, a reminder that his dream didn't die with him. The marathon continues. But the Rollin 60s takedown, that story isn't over yet.
So this is gonna probably be my last video. I'm gonna go turn myself in to see what's going on. They talking about I'm a fugitive. So they just raided all my houses. 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house. And he's actually got video and footage of it. So y'all know what y'all dealing with. And I just want to say this to y'all. When they raided my houses and my property, they was asking about whack, loose cannon, 600, and this internet stuff. All of y'all 5. All y'all who be sending shit around the internet, all y'all who be promoting and listening to what these niggas saying, all y'all giving these likes and hidden likes, all y'all supporting this. All y'all guilty of this shit. If you had something against a black man, you should handle it with a black man in the streets. Wack said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. The FBI went to the city 3 days in a row and told the city they didn't want nobody to give me no more money. They went to all the different celebrities and told all the different celebrities, don't give me no money, don't help me, don't do nothing for me. They going around scaring and intimidating everybody. But y'all sitting it around getting people in trouble. Like y'all don't understand what the FBI do to black men who try to help their community. I ain't been nothing but a help to our community. But I guess it is what it is. This the price of being black and trying to help somebody, trying to help your community and do what you can. You just guilty because somebody else don't like you and then go on the internet and do what the they want to and y'all gonna promote it. It's crazy. But I'm going to go turn myself in though. Because I ain't did nothing.
Tonight, breaking news, a music executive and a community activist wanted by the feds, accused of running a notorious South LA street gang, is now in custody. And KCAL News assignment editor Mike Rogers at the desk. Mike, some pretty serious allegations here.
Very serious allegations. And Pat, moments ago, we want you to know that he was taken into custody. That's according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. We're talking here about Eugene Henley Jr., a 58-year-old man who is a music executive and a self-proclaimed community leader here in Los Angeles. The feds say he is actually the leader of a notorious South LA street gang accused in a series of very violent crimes, including murder. Earlier today, the United States Attorney's Office held a press conference announcing he was one of of the few that they were still looking for connected to this large operation. They say moments ago he is now in custody, being held by federal officials. He is accused of a murder back in 2021. He runs a music label, and according to the feds, he signed on a young aspiring rapper to record a song for them in a Las Vegas music studio. When that rapper then turned around and made a song, essentially a diss track against the duo, that, according to the feds, is when they traveled to Las Vegas, took him in the Nevada desert, and shot and killed him. There's a number of other crimes they're accusing him of, including RICO operations throughout the Southern California region. Tonight, the federal government says the fact that he claims he is a community leader is all wrong.
The facts alleged in the complaint paint a very different picture. It is one of a murderer, a thief, a liar, and a cheat, and the criminals that enabled him.
In addition to this, the federal government says he fraudulently obtained and used COVID-19 money as part of this whole operation as well. Pat, we will wait to see. He should have his initial appearance in court in the coming days. But again, he is in custody tonight after the feds putting out his photo earlier today.
All right, thank you so much for that, Mike. That story is really just going to grow.
Absolutely.
As we find out more information.
Authorities are still searching. The enterprise he built may be crumbling, but how many more secrets does it hold? And how many more lies will it claim before it falls? Some stories end with justice, others linger in the shadows, waiting for the next move. This one may just be getting started. Alright, y'all, there y'all have it. That's the story of Big U and the Rollin 60s takedown, man. Hey, get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. You already know what it is. Drillers and trappers, we out here trapping and drilling 247. Don't go nowhere. Watch that next video.